Hi, my name is Riley Allen. This is my review of Chapter 7 of Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, titled My Dinner Goes Up in Smoke. So, it takes place right after the last chapter, and word of the bathroom incident has spread, and Percy is confuddled. He initially tries to be like, it's not my fault, I'm sorry, but, he realizes, yeah, it kind of was my fault. I just became one with the plumbing. So, he follows Annabeth down to, the river or lake or whatever, and he notices these naiads, which are, minor water nymphs or whatever, and this is the straw that broke the camel's back. This is nope, I want to go home. I'm done. I want to go home. And, he finally admits, yeah, okay, I'm a demigod. So he starts talking with Annabeth, and, he asks Annabeth, who's your father? And she gets offended because, is it because, her mother is Athena? And I'm with her. How dare Percy assume that it's only the male gods that can be some hoes? Honestly. Anyway. But even if he did assume a female goddess, I'm pretty sure Athena would be the last pick. If anything, you'd probably pick more the first one you'd pick as a Aphrodite. So then she proceeds to, talk about how, and when he asks who's her mother, she says Cabin 6. Bro's just got here. How is he supposed to know that? Unless it was in the orientation film that Percy did not get to see. She explains how, sometimes most campers stay year-round unless you're a daughter or a child of Aphrodite or Demeter. Why the hell those two were called out of all people? The woman who helped kickstart the Trojan War and the woman who created winter. I'm sorry, but either of those two... Wouldn't Athena have been a better pick for a week? Well, I guess, Annabeth's pride wouldn't allow her to say her own mother. But, maybe... I kind of feel like, all things considered, children of Demeter and Aphrodite wouldn't be the weakest of the bunch. Anyway, she, proceeds to explain that, the gods are on the Empire State Building, and Percy's like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll go with that, but I only know there's 100 floors on that bitch, but whatever. 500th floor, okay. And again, I don't know if Annabeth is speaking. So Annabeth has been at camp since 7, and she's 12 now. So I wonder if she's talking about all these things like Percy should know them because it was in the orientation film, or because she's just kind of ignorant. She doesn't understand that, girl, you've been here for 6 years. This is common knowledge for you. So, that's what I'm kind of wondering. Is it because she's been here so long that she's kind of think Percy's stupid that he doesn't know this shit? Or is it because she's thinking, because she's been here so long and all this is common knowledge, she just kind of forgets that, she probably also didn't know this? Or is she thinking Percy's an idiot for forgetting the orientation film he saw probably 2 hours ago, which he didn't see? Because Shrome sucks. I mean, I don't care if that orientation film is the worst piece of media ever. It had to have been a better explanation than the bullshits Percy's getting. Which is currently 0. Anyway. Percy ends up going back to Cabin 11 where he speaks with Luke. Who, confirms that he's the son of Hermes. And he seems kind of bitter, And he talks with Percy about how Annabeth has been wanting to get out and has been pestering Shrone for a quest, which Luke kind of ruined it because something went wrong on the last quest, which was his. And I'm wondering, And that's how he kind of got a scar, maybe? And I think that's how he got a scar. Was this like a solo quest of his, or did he have companions and they died, and that's why Sharon was just like, yep, nope, no more. I don't know. I don't think that part's ever confirmed, whether it was a solo quest or he had companions. Anyway, also, I'd like to point out that Kronos is a genius picking Luke to be his, main man, as Luke is the leader of the Hermes cabin where they stick the unclaimed, the most susceptible to be bitter to the gods. Anyway. So, Luke's like, yeah, Annabeth has been thinking about... So, Sharon told Annabeth that he knows her fate and that she won't be able to leave until a special someone comes to get. And I'm kind of wondering, did Sharon actually hear a prophecy, or was this just him covering ass? Because you gotta think. Annabeth is 12 now, and she's probably been pestering, and Luke said it was like 2 summers ago, so she would be 10. Sharon probably cares for Annabeth. So, to stop, maybe a 10-year-old going out to the damn world and getting herself killed, he pulled, a bullshit out of his ass, just like, I know your fate. You will have to wait until someone's special. I could see him doing that. As, all the prophecies we've gotten are pretty finicky. They don't make sense until it happens. So how would Sharon know? Unless it was the most straightforward prophecy. Annabeth can't go on a quest until so-and-so comes along. And, I mean, it's a possibility, or maybe, Sharon just read, maybe it was just a regular cryptic prophecy, just Sharon wrote it all down and managed to, figure it out, crack the prophecy or whatever. I don't know. It's either he actually did read a real prophecy, or he just made up a prophecy so Annabeth, will just leave him alone and stay at camp and get more training. So they go to dinner and they end up burning offerings to the gods. And Luke teaches Percy about burning offerings to the gods. Percy gets a new nickname, Peter Johnson. And from Mr. D, and he goes to sleep that night after thinking about his first day and says he wished he'd have known how short he'd enjoy his time here. That's not cryptic. That's not cryptic at all. I'm gonna be honest. The conversation between Annabeth and Percy was kind of funny, because Annabeth is talking, like Percy should know all this, and Percy's like, "Oh yeah, sure, yeah, okay, yeah, well, all right, that's all right." Overall, I'm gonna give this chapter a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next video.